Walking a dog can be a joyful and relaxing experience, a peaceful stroll through the neighborhood, or a brisk walk in the park. But when the dog on the other end of the leash is reactive, those simple outings can become a daily test of patience, understanding, and courage. Imagine, for a moment, being handed the leash of a reactive dog, a dog who barks, lunges, or growls at the sight of another dog, a bicycle, a jogger, or sometimes seemingly nothing at all. Now, imagine that dog is a stranger to you, and you are a stranger to them. For most people, the idea of walking a dog is straightforward. You clip on the leash, step outside, and let the adventure begin. But for those who have never encountered a reactive dog, the reality can be surprising, even overwhelming. The dog's heightened sensitivity to their environment, their quick reactions, and their intense focus on certain triggers can catch even experienced dog lovers off guard. Let's start at the very beginning. The first meeting between the stranger and the reactive dog is often marked by a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The dog, sensing the unfamiliar scent and presence, might display anxious behaviors, pacing, whining, or barking. The stranger, perhaps eager to make a good impression or a bit nervous about what's to come, approaches with treats in hand, hoping to establish trust. But trust is not built in an instant. The dog may hesitate to approach or may snatch a treat and retreat, watching the stranger's every move with wary eyes. The stranger tries to remember the advice given by the owner or trainer. Move slowly, avoid direct eye contact, let the dog come to you. It's a dance of patience and respect, of learning each other's boundaries. Once the leash is clipped on, a subtle tension fills the air. The dog, feeling the restraint, may pull or resist, eager to control the pace and direction of the walk. The stranger, unsure of the dog's triggers, grips the leash a bit tighter, scanning the surroundings for anything that might set the dog off. A passing dog, a skateboard, a rustling bush. The walk begins. At first, things may seem calm. The dog sniffs the ground, pausing to investigate every scent, marking territory, or simply taking in the world. The stranger relaxes, thinking perhaps this won't be so difficult after all. But then, in an instant, something changes. A jogger appears in the distance. The dog's posture shifts, ears up, body tense, eyes locked on the approaching figure. The stranger feels the leash tighten as the dog leans forward, every muscle coiled and ready. The jogger draws closer, and suddenly, the dog explodes into a frenzy of barking and lunging, straining against the leash with surprising strength. The stranger's heart pounds as they try to regain control. The dog's barking echoes through the quiet street, drawing curious glances from neighbors. The stranger attempts to distract the dog with treats, to lure them away from the trigger. But the dog is too focused, too overwhelmed by the stimulus to notice anything else. In that moment, the stranger begins to understand the challenge faced by the dog's owner every day. Walking a reactive dog is not just about physical strength. It's about reading subtle cues, anticipating reactions, and managing not just the dog's emotions, but also their own. After the trigger passes, the dog slowly settles, though the tension lingers. The stranger takes a deep breath, feeling a mix of relief and apprehension about what might come next. Every sound, every movement in the environment is now a potential trigger. A distant bark, the clang of a garbage can lid, the sudden appearance of a cyclist, all become sources of anxiety. With each encounter, the stranger learns a little more about the dog's world. They notice how the dog's tail position changes before a reaction, how the ears flick back and forth, how the dog glances at them for reassurance or guidance. They start to anticipate the dog's triggers, steering clear of busy streets, crossing to the other side when another dog approaches, offering treats and praise for calm behavior. But progress is slow and setbacks are inevitable. Some days, the dog seems to handle the world with more grace, walking calmly past distractions, responding to cues, accepting treats. Other days, the smallest thing can set off a chain reaction of barking, lunging, and frantic pulling. Throughout the walk, the stranger experiences a range of emotions. There is frustration when the dog refuses to listen or reacts unexpectedly. There is embarrassment when passers-by stare or make comments about the dog's behavior. There is empathy as the stranger begins to see the world through the dog's eyes, a world full of unpredictable threats and overwhelming stimuli. There are also moments of connection, brief but meaningful. When the dog looks up for reassurance, when they accept a treat after a difficult moment, when they walk calmly by the stranger's side for a few steps, there is a sense of partnership, of shared accomplishment. As the walk continues, the stranger becomes more attuned to the dog's needs. They learn to use their voice to soothe and encourage, to use the leash not as a restraint, but as a means of gentle guidance. They discover the importance of rewarding calm behavior, of creating distance from triggers, of giving the dog time to process the world. The stranger also learns about their own reactions, the way their body tenses when they see a potential trigger, the way their anxiety can transfer down the leash and influence the dog's behavior. They learn to breathe, to stay calm, to project confidence and reassurance, even when they feel uncertain. For the reactive dog, every walk is a challenge, a test of their ability to cope with a world that feels unpredictable and sometimes frightening. For the stranger, walking a reactive dog is an exercise in patience, empathy, and adaptability. It is a lesson in letting go of expectations, in celebrating small victories, and in understanding that progress is measured not by perfection, but by persistence. As the walk draws to a close, the stranger reflects on the experience. They are tired, perhaps a bit frazzled, but also filled with a newfound respect for the dog and their owner. They realize that behind every reactive dog is a story of past experiences, of fears and anxieties, of efforts to overcome challenges. They also recognize that reactive dogs are not bad dogs. They are not aggressive or unmanageable by nature. They are simply dogs who experience the world more intensely, who need a little more understanding, a little more patience, and a lot of kindness. The walk ends where it began, with the stranger and the dog returning home, both changed by the experience. The dog may be tired, but there is a sense of relief, of having faced the world and made it back safely. The stranger, too, feels a sense of accomplishment, of having stepped into another's shoes, or rather, another's paws, and gained insight into the challenges and triumphs of walking a reactive dog. As they say goodbye, there is a moment of gratitude. The stranger thanks the dog for their trust, for allowing them to share in their journey, however briefly. The dog, perhaps, offers a wag of the tail or a gentle nuzzle, a silent acknowledgement of the partnership that was formed, if only for a short time. Walking a reactive dog as a stranger is not easy. It is filled with uncertainties, with moments of doubt and frustration. But it is also an opportunity to learn, to grow, to connect. It is a reminder that every dog, no matter how challenging, deserves patience, understanding, and compassion. For those who live with reactive dogs, every walk is an act of courage. It is a commitment to their dog's well-being, a daily effort to help them navigate a world that can be overwhelming. It is a journey marked by setbacks and progress, by moments of struggle and moments of joy. For strangers who step into that world, even for a single walk, it is an eye-opening experience. It is a chance to see the world from a different perspective, to appreciate the complexity of canine behavior, and to recognize the deep bond that forms between a dog and the person who walks beside them. In the end, walking a reactive dog is not just about managing behavior. It is about building trust, fostering resilience, and finding hope in the smallest moments of calm. It is about understanding that every dog is an individual, with their own fears, triggers, and strengths. So the next time you see someone struggling to walk a reactive dog, offer a smile instead of a judgment. Remember that behind every bark, every lunge, is a dog trying their best, and a person doing their best to help. And if you ever have the chance to walk in their shoes, even just for a day, you may find that the experience teaches you more than you ever expected, about dogs, about patience, and about empathy. And for the reactive dog, each walk with a stranger is a step toward greater confidence, a chance to learn that the world is not quite as scary as it seems. With every patient hand that holds their leash, with every gentle voice that encourages them forward, they learn, little by little, that they are not alone in facing their fears. Walking a reactive dog is a journey, sometimes challenging, often unpredictable, but always rewarding in ways that go far beyond the simple act of putting one foot in front of the other. It is a testament to the power of patience, the importance of understanding, and the unbreakable bond between human and dog, no matter how many challenges they face along the way.